Grabe siya.
I see you ang puta.
Ewan ko,
I see you?
sabi niya eh. Basta may sinabi siya eh.
I see you?
Hindi, hospital
Oo,
naman
ano?
siguro.
Ano yun?
I see you
What
sa
you-
intensive care unit.
Yeah, pag
What
mamamatay.
the
Pag malapit ka na mamatay or something. Di naman siguro ganun.
Ewan ko, basta sinabi siya.
Tanginang yun.
Ano pa naman? Horizon 2 a.m.
Ay, we?
Oo. Kita mo sa Discord
May
ah.
FPS counter na.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Which
Okay, over there.
Wait, change account.
Yun lang.
Yun, live na rin ako.
There you go.
Live na
Get
rin
up
ako.
there. Nice. Pero hindi ko kita sa aim. Ayan, never mind. Yan, finally, kita ko na yung viewers. Kaso lang, nawawala FPS counter ko sa aim na. For some reason.
Do you need FPS counter? Ah,
Hindi pinabasa comments ko.
hindi daw kasi ano. Ewan, mali ko.
Oh, what's cool?
Yay, Johnny is here.
What? Die.
43k. Anong 830, diba?
Yeah. Nagawa pa kaya kasi.
Filipino.
Ilan? Yeah, mga 9 pa yan tayo magsisimula na.
For sure.
Yeah.
Karas by karas. XP no?
Wait lang. Magkaano ako.
Labaw.
Eh, mag-i-aim lab na. Main. Tara, chess.
Tara. Hikaru.
Tara, stream tayo yung chess.
Tara.
May 4-way chess eh.
Ewe.
Paano yun?
Paano yun?
Normal chess lang, pero 4-way.
Wait, how is
Paano ba?
how is that normal? Yun ang tanong.
Same rules. Ano lang, nagkaiba lang is yung placement ata ng king at saka queen.
Hindi, pare. Parang ba nila?
Tapos parang battle royale lang. Or free for all pala.
Hindi, pero paano yun? Like, yung font, di naman pwede mong move left or right.
No. Ganun pa rin nga. Basic rules ng chess with 4 people. Basic. Ang magpapatayan sa inyo dun is yung mga bishop, rook, mga ganun.
Ikaw hindi naman ako. Ata.
Oo. Pwede din sa gilid. Mas nakakatakot yung nasa gilid yun.
84k. Saan makikita yung ano? Targets hit. Targets 255.
Parang may nag-iba eh.
Hits
Kaya
252.
pala.
Misses 32. Fuck.
Kaya pala.
Dami kong misses daw. Fuck. Yeah, kailangan ko taasan ng accuracy.
Ano accuracy mo?
88. Kahit 19 ako.
Sana all.
Pangit na ng aim ko.
true love, you can never hear me cry.
Half of it.
Baby, all these feels, baby. I'm a pretty fool living on the west side.
Fuck! Di pa ako masasabi. Fuck.
Yung...
Bruh.
Yo, nag-build si Komokom.
Hi, Johnny. She's watching with you. Wow.
Hi. I
Ayun,
am... I am
Si
watching...
Cookie, yeah, man. Si Cookie, man.
I'm just gonna watch her build and judge her so much pag nagkamali siya.
At least hindi naman siya maging katulad ng The Verge, diba? Nothing can
Yeah,
nothing
in The
can be worse than The
Verge.
Verge.
Yeah.
Di ko alam yun. Ano meron dun?
Di mo alam yun,
Hindi
bro.
mo yun alam, sobrang
Panoorin mo.
Panoorin mo yung PC building ng The Verge.
Okay.
Yeah.
May irita ka sobra.
You're gonna die.
Nakakain niya na yung buhok niya. Hindi pa.
Yo, that's hot.
What the
Okay.
fuck? Okay?
Okay.
Nag-concentrate ako dito.
Okay, Janet.
Man.
Yeah, cut on the stream.
Caught on two streams, yeah.
Cut on the stream.
Concentrate.
Nice, Johnny. Hair fetish.
Sure, man. Whatever you say. Tuloy.
Okay.
Narinig ko strip.
Concentrate ako
Narinig
dito.
ko. Ano. Basta ka ng mga
Ewan
strip.
ko.
I will just
55-92. Let's
come to
go.
Valorant. The time is now 8:39.
85k tas 91. Let's go.
Ano yun, Ursha? 1660 ba yan?
Ano ba?
Ano yung graphics card?
Ko, hindi ko narinig.
Oh
Man,
no, mataas na pala
hindi
ping ko
ko kita
dito.
yung stream, man, ng labo, man.
Oh, this is bad.
1660 ba yan?
Kapo din sa akin eh. Ba?
Man,
Tara, bala.
gusto ko lang,
There's a
gusto ko lang
Ripperino right
make it.
here. Saan mataas ping ko ulit dito sa range? Yeah, mataas na naman ang ping ko. 200! Fun.
What fun.
Very fun.
Magkakostom naman tayo. Siguro naman nilag yan. Sana.
Yeah.
Mag-VPN ka sa server na yun.
So ngayon nga, pag nag-BBN ako, mababa ping ko sa custom.
Okay.
Hey guys, watch me fail at aim labs.
Watch me fail in life.
Ah,
I'm already a failure.
oo
Jokes
nga.
on you.
Di mo na kailangan manood, man. Kita ba? Or is it black?
Di ko na, di ko na. Ba maglaga.
Is
Yan,
is
kita.
it black?
Stream
Yeah,
boss.
kita.
Yan, replay task.
It-
Come on, come on. At least mataas naman ang curious to me. That's what matters.
Mm, Sana all mataas.
Yo.
Yo, random ko yung lag eh.
Yeah, pwede i-skip ka.
Yeah, random ko yung lag.
I mean,
eh.
di naman naramdam dito. 30 FPS na naman yung stream sa Discord.
Kaya nga. Man, naharandam ko yung lag. Bakit? Random ko yung lag.
Stop watching. Wait, nag-launch na Valorant ka. Hindi ko lang kung nag-launch yung Valorant ka.
Tanong mo, Ersha, kung anong ano. Yung graphics card niya. Ingit ko.
Naingit.
Hindi ako nga mag-comment eh.
Ako na magko-comment. Ano ba?
Nag-stream na ba?
Hmm?
Nag-stream ba? Sino?
Anong
Ah,
stream?
Ikaw, nag-stream ka, di ba? Okay.
Sa YouTube ko lang.
Ah, sa Ikaduran. Ba't sa
Yo,
may iba
shoutout daw
account?
kay
Ba't
Lee.
ako magkaroon ako
Shoutout.
ng mga member?
Pakopya ako,
Hmm?
2605.
Anong bawat? Saan?
O kaya HTML.
Mga groups ng MNN.
Baka ano? Baka hindi
Baka hindi na sila hindi na atat member itong mga to.
Oo.
Kasi agis na siguro itong mga to.
Yeah, pag hindi na siguro member.
Yeah.
Memberist.
Memberist.
Yeah. Memberist.
I need to turn on a VPN.
Di ko
Corona
di ko
ba?
kasi kita. Di ko kasi kita yung ano.
Proton VPN.
Kamerlay.
Bagong case ba yan?
Nilipat niya sa galing luma.
I need to pause
my
the stream
TX. Oh god.
for that podcast in Facebook. But Japan, don't connect to Japan. Connect to
Namin, hindi siya okay.
Singapore.
Hindi siya okay.
Mamaya, hindi pa nakakabit ng ayos ang mga yan.
Oo nga. Anong okay lang yan, boss?
Mamaya,
Linus would be disappointed that you.
kapag yan na short circuit pa yan.
Oh, okay lang yan.
Sarap ng buhay.
Mas masaya pag nabali yun sa ano. Yung
Oo,
sa
bro.
ano, video card.
Sa stream pa, no? Sa stream.
saya.
Grip.
Yung hinintay ko kayo, no? Yung kay Harry G. Yung sa...
Ano isang araw?
Ah,
Isang araw.
Yeah,
Kikrip ko
saya.
yun.
clip.
Hindi ko talaga makita. Ano ba yan? Cancer eh. Kasi naka 360.
Mas malakas ka, pre. Love you, pre. No homo.
Hindi ako consistent dito. Hindi ako stable pala, I mean.
Nice lang yan. Nice lang yan.
Mukhang MATX yung ano. Yung board. Maliit. Or is it just...
Micro ATX?
Oo. Mukha siyang...
Parang hindi. Kasi standard lang yung ano yun. Case niya.
Oo. Mukhang...
Malay.
Alaki kasi nung ano.
Hindi ako makapag-stream.
Tapos
baka
dalawa.
nga.
Ay, shit.
Baka dalawa lang kasi yung ano.
Ito na gano'n. Bucky.
Yung... DDR4 niya. Ano naman? Sagot na ba yung tanong?
Natabunan.
Wait. Hindi ako makapag-VPN. Kasi wala na yung trial.
Yo, that's that. Oh, ano nangyari? Oh, ano nangyari?
Okay.
I joke, wait, just Singapore 260 MS. Are you sure about that, Valorant?
Hong Kong yung pinababa mo yun eh. Hong Kong 1. Tsaka 2. Ay, di. 1 yata. Yun yung pinababa mo. 30 sa...
Man, Hong Kong, man.
What a fucking joke. 60 MS nakalagay sa custom game, tapos pag-join ko ng...
Wala pa. Ano lang.
Pag-join ko naging ano,
Sa YouTube.
200.
Ano?
Wala pang Dreamy Night sa YouTube.
Wala ba? Yeah, kaya... But...
Spotify pa lang.
Makatao ko kung hawak ko sa PC.
Man, ilapag mo na lang. Man, walang... Tapos... Oh, pinapak. Nakakabahan ako eh. Excuse me. Okay. Yun. Kaya nga. Man, ano...
Chill muna.
Hindi RTX.
Ba 1615 or 1660?
Feeling ko 1660 yan.
Kasi hindi
Or
rin sinabi ni
6.
Harry.
Oo, Sean. Hindi, mali pa 1650 nga pala. Kasi kung 1660, dapat nag-RTX na siya. Aray.
So, display capture.
Ganyan talaga ang PC building, man.
Ito yung katangahan namin dito.
Oo nga, may ATX siya, Arda.
Yeah.
Ay, oh, may
ulit
credit.
ng bagong account.
Ayun o, kita
Migrate,
yung dim slot niya.
MicroAtex. Pinapanood ko yung stream ni Johnny. Nanonood ko ng stream.
Yeah, huwag na kayo manood na.
Na pinapanood natin sa stream ko ngayon. Like legit yun yung stream ko ngayon.
Wow,
Streamception.
Streamception tayo para.
Hindi nag-send sa akin ng chat. Man. Anong okay lang yan? Mas maganda tama lahat ng buo mo. Pero at least may cable management siya. Ito pa. Aray.
Hindi ko matanggal. Damay-damay na to. Ayoko na.
Ayun na daw.
Ano kaya mo na?
Hindi, tugog ka dyan. Nakakatagahat yan.
Oh,
Saya.
Sige.
Saya.
Sige.
Okay,
Tapos hindi pa...
lagay mo sa side lahat yan. Okay.
Kasha ba yung ano? Kasha.
Lagay tayong text.
Lagay mo na yung... Nakalagay na ba yung ano niya, RAM? Lagay mo na RAM.
Oh, cringe man. Tapusin.
Man, gusto ko bigyan siya ng ano, YouTube link. Watch this.
What's this?
Tapos ano, Linus Tech Tips.
Linus Tech Tips.
Tara, hanap tayo. Meron na nga agad eh. Man.
Nice.
My ping is so high.
Note kang stream ka para ano. Stream session talaga.
Oo. Ano
Pero
kaya
sa
ito?
Verge, sa Verge din sinasabi niyo.
I'm Verge. Wala ano eh. Pero syempre meron pa.
Parang kanina.
There is a video
Taas pa rin ng... Oh wait, actually.
That you just shouldn't do when building a gaming PC.
At first, I admit, I thought it was satire.
So a few years ago, TC, or managing editor...
Hi, Stefan. You probably shouldn't have included your Twitter handle here, because I imagine you're just going to get absolutely flamed from the internet.
You can build a gaming desktop for around $1,000.
Which is true.
Well, yeah, you can build a gaming desktop for around $1,000 or $350 or $250 or $200 or $175 or $150 or sometimes even $100. But yeah, sure, $1,000.
I want to go all out, so I spent around $2,000.
2,000 is a decent chunk of change for a gaming
Most
PC.
games, so what do you need to build a
Yeah,
desktop?
1,000 is
Well, of
good na
course,
talaga.
first you need a table.
Gucci.
Preferably not metal.
Hold on, time out. Time out.
So, what do you need to build a desktop? Well, of course, first you need a table. First, you need a table. Preferably
Wait,
not
wait.
The table to build a PC. I thought you could build it.
I have a bed.
You cannot build this on the floor. So step 1, you need a table. Step 2, you better have 2 hands. And they better have 10 digits.
Like, that's just common sense. You're going to need a working surface area to build a computer. That's just... Why even say that?
have an anti-static working surface layered on top of it, a thermal paste applicator, and
What? A thermal paste applicator? What the heck is that?
Does anybody ever actually use a thermal paste applicator?
an Allen wrench.
Wait, what?
Why is he recommending an Allen wrench?
I have never used an Allen wrench to build
What's
a
an
computer
Allen
ever, and I've
Siguro
owned
na-
about
Scroll
30
lang kailangan
computers
dyan,
now.
tapos
Unless you use an Allen
angle.
wrench to put together the table.
Some tweezers to tighten up
Ayun
the
yung pang
wire.
angle
Hold
naman.
on, did he just say tweezers? Those are zip ties.
How in
Angled,
God's name
ano,
is my English
screws.
better than his?
Ooh, this is not turning out good already.
A Swiss Army knife, which hopefully has a Phillips head screwdriver in it.
A Swiss Army knife that hopefully has a Phillips head screwdriver in it.
Pagkat naman meron.
Depende
No,
sa...
Wouldn't you make sure that
depende
you
rin sa
have the
size.
tools necessary before you start the build?
This is a sponsored video.
Why does your office with so many dozen PCs and so many dozen tech employees not have one of these?
And last but not least, an anti-static bracelet, which is to protect you
Okay, that's
and
true.
the parts. These are the parts you're gonna need. But more importantly, before we get
Hold on. That's not an anti-static bracelet at all. There's no ground wire coming off of it. He's not connected to anything. That looks like the bracelet I'm wearing.
What? It's not a wireless wristband. That's a Riv Strong bracelet. He's not fighting static. He's fighting cancer.
That's not gonna work at all. Don't listen to this person. This is really bad so far.
We have a lot of boxes and a lot of PC parts, so it's best if you unbox them, isolate the parts that you really need. So it's best if you unbox them, isolate the parts that you...
What? Why did he destroy the box? You have a knife right there, man.
Ah, yes.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
And screw in with confidence, but
Wow,
also don't screw in too hard,
come
otherwise you...
Screw
That's
in with
not
confidence. I
comfy.
like his style.
Oh, at least he put the posts in. He didn't tell. It's a tutorial. They didn't tell you to put the posts in, but luckily he already did it, and you just have to figure it out on your own.
I chose Asus's Z37
Asus?
for two main reasons. One, it has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and also it has...
Don't buy a motherboard just
like-
because it has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
And also it has support for NVMe SSDs, meaning you can get really...
Okay, I want to stop it there because why is he installing the motherboard straight into the chassis? I'd install as much as I physically could onto the motherboard first. So you're talking the
Man,
processor,
man.
thermal paste, cooler if it will allow it. Obviously, if you're using an AIO, it's a different story or custom loop. But if it's an air cooler, you can bolt that on there. M.2 drive, so that could be SATA or NVMe, and memory as well. So basically try and build as much as you can onto the motherboard, so when you do transfer it to the case, it's just generally easier.
Attention to the brace that goes at the brace that the brace that goes the brace that the brace that goes at the back of the computer.
Oh my.
Did he seriously just call an IO shield plate a brace?
You always have to make sure that you really hammer it in, because there's no screw.
Do not hammer it in. Please do not hammer it. Why did he say hammer it in?
Secondly, it's pretty fast RAM. It's 2,666 megahertz.
That's not that fast for DDR4 memory. That is very, very slow. 2666 is not that fast.
I can run at 3200 megahertz.
That would be classified as really fast on DDR3, but for DDR4, not so much.
Okay, I don't know why he's opening all 4 DIMM slots. He only has 2 sticks of RAM. He's putting this in wrong. Already. There's the little notch right there, and there is the hole. You could tell right now this is not lined up. He's already putting it in upside down. He's not going to be able to snap this in.
And just lining that up with the logo.
Oh, they cut away.
So once you hear that...
They cut away because he was putting it in wrong.
So once you hear that solid clasp and you don't see...
You mean click? It's not a clasp.
Now he's in slot 4. Who edited this?
I mean, I tell you, I'm definitely editing my video down so I don't sound stupid.
Step 3, we're going to install...
Hold on. What is that?
Hold up.
What is this right here?
What do you guys see wrong?
He installed the memory incorrect.
Oh no, he installed the memory wrong.
They side by side. They should be spaced out for that motherboard. I look at the manual. That's the wrong way.
So rip dual channel support on his motherboard if he's going to run his RAM like that.
That's only going to read 8 gigs. That's not going to read 16 because one of them's installed incorrectly.
Speaking of the memory, I wish I could erase this one.
But you can always upgrade this and swap it out, and it's only held down by 1 screw and the latch, so it's really simple.
Okay, so he mentions it's only held down by a screw and a latch, but then looking at it, he hasn't actually put the standoff, and it looks like he's screwing the NVMe drive directly onto the motherboard. So generally, you'd get these with your motherboard, which is a tiny little standoff and a little screw that just kind of brings up the M.2 drive so that it's in line. He's screwing it down onto the motherboard like, oh.
Nice.
Is this really gonna work?
Now, which lane you choose depends entirely on what other parts you're going to put in the system. I'm just going to pick the top one.
Absolutely wrong. He's absolutely wrong there. Obviously, you pick the top one because that one has the most bandwidth.
I'm just going to pick the top one because the SSD is at the bottom and I don't want to cover it. I just think it looks nice.
No.
Make sure that you align it with these little insulating pads. So
they're not insulating pads, they're anti-vibration pads. What are you insulating against?
So the power supply is going to short circuit and come into contact with the rest of the system.
What?
So
Whoa! Hold the phone.
That is so dumb.
You are actually an idiot.
Go in.
Man.
So we have a 120 volt outlet, and then we
Kapag
have
dito
our
ito
power
sina ano,
supply.
hanap na yung
Oh no,
na pwede mapapag.
120 volts, I'm touching the case. There's 120 volts going through my body right now. But what happens if we take that nice little thing? Nothing. Because if we go into continuity, it's grounded. It's almost as if the people developing electrical standards knew what the heck they were doing.
It's a good thing he has what would Jesus do bracelet on, or he'd be really screwed.
So just take it in, slide it in nice and easy,
what?
have a snug fit, and then shift it
What?
to the back and make sure it's right up against the front.
What's wrong here?
Oh my god, he's putting the fan towards the back of the case. He's gonna suffocate airflow on it. Oh no.
If you want this PC to actually last and not burn itself the fuck up,
This is potentially a fire hazard.
You should never do that. Never, ever, like, block the fan.
What the case is designed for
yes.
is the power supply
Overheat
should be
the ship,
facing
yes.
outward, or the fan should be facing outward, so it can
Gusto
go
ka na
in
ito
there
dyan.
in.
this guy's gonna be replacing the power supply in a few months, and he's gonna be like, holy crap, why is this thing dead already?
Always be sure to try to place.
Hold on.
I could see through this.
I can see the table through the fins of the radiator. He does not have fans on that.
Why are there no fans on the radiator? So he's just gonna fry his CPU too.
He also doesn't have the plastic cover on this. That has thermal paste on it. If that thing happens to tilt or anything else, he's just going to smear thermal paste everywhere. Possibly get it dirty.
There's nothing special about this screwing in process. They're just really long screws because they go through the entire frame of the cooler, and they take forever.
Now, why they're really long screws is because you're supposed to put the fans on and then screw the fans on with those screws. That's why they're long.
Because the fans are this thick, and the screws go through the fans into the radiator to mount them to the radiator.
He should use the small one. He going to drill holes into the heatsink of the radiator.
And that fluid's gonna go everywhere.
Okay, he's probably broken his...
I doubt this PC is gonna last very long.
My family in China who made this product cringing so hard right now.
Every power supply is going to come with a big bag of Velcro cables.
Okay, every power supply is going to come with a big bag of cables. It's not going to, not every power supply, because not every power supply is modular. You have modular power supplies, semi-modular, and then just normal straight cables. So that's a bit of a misleading statement.
Typically, you want to put the cables in the power supply first. Some cases, very difficult to put it in after the fact.
Oh dear. Considering you've fucked up everything so far, I have no faith in you putting the CPU properly in its socket.
Why the hell is the CPU not installed at this point?
A Core i7 hexa-core CPU. Yeah, we've got one, and it's an 8th generation chip.
Yeah,
and
we got one. Super exclusive. You can only buy it on every major retailer in the world.
And it supports overclocking. So what
I swear to God, you better not
little
overclock
installer
it.
does, we're just going to take this little plastic part out. Just toss that out of here.
No, don't do that. No, you need that.
What the heck did he just do? He goes, Last Jedi level.
Motherboard manufacturers actually require you to have that but plastic cover for the socket, the CPU socket, if you plan on RMAing that motherboard. If there's a problem with it and you plan on sending it back to the manufacturer to get fixed, they need that plastic cover. They will not accept an RMA process or request if you don't have that cover. So don't throw that away. Always keep that.
And also, you do not just pull it out of the socket, it pops out after you put your CPU in, which you would know if you would have already put your CPU in before all of this garbage that you did on your case.
And we're going to use the CPU applicator. This is a special
Is
little
that?
part that
I've never
everyone
seen
may
that.
get, but this motherboard
I have never seen that in my life.
What the fuck is a CPU applicator?
I have never seen a bracket for the CPU to be held on so you can install it properly.
It's called a CPU installation tool. It makes it really
You don't need
useful.
that.
So what having this little installer does for you is it's basically a brace that you can apply.
Yeah, you don't
right
need
to the
that.
CPU. And this will make it easier for us to apply it to
You don't
the motherboard
need that.
and make sure that everything lines up. And we're gonna clasp down on it and we'll be good.
The holder's right here.
You took the tool off and you threw it to the side.
Why did he spend all that time talking to us about that CPU holder thingy if he didn't even use it?
He knows he didn't need it. Now we can't delete everything he said because the editor is someone else other than him.
So we're about to apply thermal paste to the CPU.
Why are we about to apply thermal paste to the CPU? I'm looking in the AIO, like typically AIOs come with like a thermal, small amount of thermal paste already pre-applied.
Every CPU cooler actually comes with a bit of thermal paste already neatly applied.
What are you doing?
Not every
You
CPU
put rice on
cooler.
colander.
Essentially PC building practice to have a little bit extra. Layer it on top of the CPU.
Oh no!
No, 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 no.
What he do? It's a CPU. You're not icing a cake.
Oh no.
By the looks of it, where I've paused, he looks like he's adding more thermal paste to the CPU and then he's going to put what's already on the cooler on top, which that's a big no-no. Don't do that. That's awful. What you should do is use a pea-sized drop of thermal paste in the middle of the IHS, which is that like metal square on the CPU. Integrated heat spreader, as it's called. That's more than enough, is a pea-sized blob of thermal paste in the middle. Once you make the contact with the CPU cooler, that will actually spread out when you go to put pressure from the cooler on top of the CPU. So don't do this.
If they left this PC as is, it would probably be dead in a week.
So you're gonna see that.
Oh my God! What is that? What the fuck? What is this application process? What is that?
So you're gonna see that there are
Oh
4
my God!
So you're gonna see that there are 4
It's like someone threw up thermal paste onto his processor.
It literally looks like a bird of shit all over the processor.
Imagine a ketchup packet slowly being ran over.
He went all bukkake up in that thermal paste.
You had a thermal paste spreader. Use the fucking thing. What is that?
Dude, I can't even make fun of this guy anymore. He's actually like messed up like almost everything.
If this computer posts, it'll be
yo
a
guys.
miracle.
And they're going
May
to
nahanap akong streamer na po. Gusto mo ipag 5v5.
physically come in contact with.
Sina Ian, di na sila
They're
nagre-reply
gonna
eh.
keep the cooler
Bro,
off the processor, but it's gonna be close enough to make physical contact.
Take thumb screws like this and
Pero
just
sabi
screw
nito,
them
ano
on.
niya, warm up lang daw sila ng unrated isa.
Woo, The Verge. I
Paunahan
dislike
na lang.
your editing
Paunahan
style
na
so
lang.
paunahan na
much.
lang.
So do it like
Sayang rin
this,
oras kung hintay
and
natin
it's
si
one
Ian.
shot. I can't even see what he's doing.
So now that our internals are done, we're gonna put all the panels back on, which is the top glass, side glass, front glass, and of course the back panel where all of
Oh,
this
thank
fun
God
stuff
it's
is.
done.
So we fully built the.
What is this? What is all of this?
Nasa cable manage yan.
So that cable management now.
When you're building a computer, always take the time to cable manage properly. Make sure everything looks neat. You know, your cables are not going to affect your airflow inside your case.
And he actually used his quote-unquote user slash what we know as zip ties, but he didn't do a very good job of actually cleaning up. And holy crap, look, there's a missing screw on his all-in-one water cooler pump. Why, you just had 3 and there's an extra one and you just threw it away just like your socket cover? And look at this, the tubing that goes into his all-in-one water cooler pump contacts 1080 graphics
Yo,
card at the end.
same.
That's bad practice. That thing contains liquids that could potentially short
God,
out the
capital yung
system if it gets
BBMO.
damaged by the heat generated by the graphics card. Now it looks like he managed to find the right screw for the fans. Oh, good.
That's just awful.
And we got to the post screen.
No way.
And we got to the post screen.
They got to
So
the
what's
post
next?
screen. Holy shit, it's a miracle.
I'm honestly
Running at
surprised he got it to
maximum
post at all.
That's
Well, you
amazing.
need a
That's the
USB
biggest
flash.
surprise of all. He got to the post screen. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause.
And we got to the post screen.
after.
Yeah.
Ilang years.
You know what he totally skipped too? He totally forgot to mention how to plug in the power switch, reset switch, front USBs, front headphone jack, and microphone jack.
Yeah,
Totally skipped over the front panel I/O.
I really want him to open up Computer Manager and see if it's pulling and if it's reading all 16 gigs because he still never fixed the memory.
And it's running pretty smoothly. I'm averaging 70 and 80 FPS.
You're averaging 70 and 80 FPS because you're in a plane flying around. The game really only needs to detail render your plane. Everything else is like half rendered because you're going so fast. So that's how they hide it with motion blur and all that stuff.
So right now I'm playing League of Legends. It's one of my
Bad benchmark game.
The minimum requirement for League of Legends
Kanina
is
ba ba?
literally a single core processor.
League of Legends could run on the shittiest
Kanina
of
pa
laptops. It was
nag-google.
designed that way.
I'm averaging 120 FPS.
Jesus.
And that's only because I've actually locked the game
I'm
that
very
frame
shocked.
rate because
He's locked the game at 120 FPS. Why? Aren't we supposed to be benchmarking something? Why even bother?
The reason you have it capped at 120 frames per second is because you probably are not using a monitor that is 144 hertz. So anytime you get super high frame rates, you're probably experiencing ghosting and Yasuo showing up all over the place because your panel can't keep up with your system.
and of course now we also have a computer to test and benchmark games here at the Verge.
No. You do not get the right to benchmark games or test PC components if you build PCs like that, bro. You put your PSU the wrong way.
Mas
You
subscribe nga, natawa ako.
oversaturate it in thermal paste. You mix 2 thermal pastes together. You made a rat's nest for cable management. You even missed 1 screw on your all-in-one water cooler. Your radiator hoses contact the 1080 graphics card. Ain't nobody gonna respect your benchmarks after this, bro. 2.1 million subscribers ain't got a freaking screwdriver. Doesn't know what the heck tweezers are versus a zip tie. Doesn't know how to mount an all-in-one water cooler. Doesn't know how to put a power supply into their case. Thinks a power supply can short circuit by contacting the metal case.
All right, so long story short, this video sucks.
Presented by Capital One.
Capital One, you got the raw end of the deal.
Oh, you gotta get your logo scraped off this thing. Holy
sino ba?
moly.
I don't know why you guys sponsored this video because it's terrible. It's full of misinformation.
This is easily the worst PC build I have ever seen.
A lot of people are gonna screw the computer up.
Very scary. Someone who built a PC.
Man, that sucked.
Tara, Spy Crush. Wait lang.
Kompleto ba sila?
Para, hindi ko sure. May hinintay daw sila eh. Hindi daw nag-reply kaya ano. Wait lang.
What?
I don't know. Sure.
Ano ba ako dun sa game?
Ha?
Ang dalawa kasama. Ang dalawang kasama.
Ano?
Gano'n pa si Ian ang dalawang pwedeng isama.
Bro, kala ko kompleto na. Dami nila sa ano.
Nga eh.
Ano yan? Mga LOL player.
Bro.
Yeah, lol yan.
Ah, fuck.
Si Lorenzo.
Spike crush.
Ano na yung streamer?
Yung streamer ito yung status niya. I mean,
What a sniper. Ano bang ano? Anong stats?
May isang gold 2 siya, tapos dalawang silver 3, isang gold 1, isang platinum 1.
Matalo
Nice.
sa dyan.
Yeah.
Yata.
Papag-giveaway nga siya.
Pag nanalo.
Pag nanalo?
Hindi. I mean,
Hindi.
giveaway na...
Battle Pass.
Anong giveaway?
Battle Pass?
Battle Pass ata.
Akin na lang.
Gusto ko rin.
Mine.
Oh my god.
Man, gusto ko ng Battle Pass, man. Man, give me Battle Pass. I want Battle Pass.
You want Fortnite Battle Pass?
No, fuck that.
Same. Sabi na ito.
Tagal ko na inaano yan eh. Kahit 2 weeks ago. Yung isang beses yung kompleto tayo, sabi, kulang sa yung isa na lang kasama bronze, sabi niya, ay, di sir, wala yung taga-buhat namin.
Taga-buhat sila? Oh, ben.
Yung ano?
Ganun ba yan?
Yo.
Man, ang pangit ang placement siya ng Killjoy. And,
wala, may imun yata sa layo na.
pangit yung ano nila, yung team comp nila. I mean, yung ano nila.
Tayo kina Ian.
Teka.
Oh, goodness.
Tara, Jack, deathmatch.
Lang, patapos na yung sniper.
Wait, naka-spike crush ka?
Yeah.
Deathmatch.
Huh? What?
Deathmatch.
Nakala ko pa PXP tayo.
Wala. Dito lang naman eh. Ba't taas ng ping ko sa Singa?
Baka ano lang.
Tayo mo kasi Singa 2. Wait, wala pala siya dito. Fuck.
Yeah, he did.
Denmark.
Ayun siya. Ay, tanong nga ba ano ko dito sana?
Wala si Denmark, boy. Tulog ata.
Communication. Ayu.
Taka si Ian, di ba?
Taka Abo. Tama si Ian.
Ay, hindi. Si Tama pala si Ian. Sino si Taka? Si Abo.
Singa 2. Or Hong Kong.
Mag-spill na lang sa inyo yung dalawa, pare.
No?
Pwede ba yun?
Yo! Yeah,
Singa 2.
Ay,
wait. Anong ping mas mabilis? Bakit anong ano eh? Singa 2. Singapore.
Hong Kong kaya?
Hong Kong 1. Hong Kong 2.
70.
Hong Kong
2.
Oh.
Wait,
lahat.
Maano? Wait.
Fuck you. Never mind.
Mas maano.
Gusto lang to. Bro.
Yo!
Singa.
Taas ng ping ko sa Singa.
Sydney bro.
Ano nangyari?
Sydney na lang. Mababa ping ko.
Lahat tayo pare, lahat tayo.
Taas ng ping ko.
Yung Sydney 1, bro. Tara yan, Sydney 1.
Oh, takas. Ay, ano ba?
May inintay pa si
Kala ko Sydney 1. Singa?
May taas ng ping ko sa Singapore.
Okay, I'm here.
Umuulan. Let's go.
Ulan. Saan sa inyo?
Yeah.
I'm here, Dad.
Harap kaya ako. Wait kaya ako.
Balak.
Ano po?
Deathmatch lang.
Deathmatch lang ba? O
Deathmatch lang. Deathmatch
Taas ng ping ko ah.
Eh, tingnan nyo yung ping. Ping check na rin yan. Aray.
Ah, dito sa akin.
In the baddest.
Wanna be white?
I wanna be black.
Fuck that. Owen's not black.
Let's go.
Technically,
Army
he
yan
is.
si Omen.
Okay.
Technically, he's black.
Yo,
It's an absence of color.
Vermit.
Yo, Demor, yo.
Pili!
Yo,
Oh.
bilis mo, faggot.
Ano ba to?
Bilis.
Wala, deathmatch
Deathmatch
lang.
lang.
Deathmatch lang.
Bilis.
Ba't may pili-pili?
Wala, ganun talaga
Wala,
pag custom. Pag custom.
Bulok custom.
Akala ko pag...
Pag custom
Wait, what?
na kasi.
Akala ko pag...
Deathmatch naman eh.
Hotdog.
Pag
Pag ko
custom
lang sa music ko, hindi na ako nag-stream. There you go. Ilang ping ko, let's see. Okay guys, off lang tayo.
Tara up ta.
Tara up tayo.
Taas sa pick ko,
200
never
ping.
mind. 200 ako eh.
Single on.
Leg up nga ang pota.
Let's get these idiots.
Off kayo.
Patay ko.
Nag-off ako.
Naglalag ako. Hindi ako
Hindi kita natamaan.
Ba't may pistol, bading?
Aray.
Yan, buti nga sa'yo, tangin na ka.
Naglalag ako.
Ano to? Ba't may ano dito, frenzy? Ano to?
Ba't may pistol dito?
Ha?
The fuck is... May pistol ba talaga pag deathmatch?
Oo.
Yes. Ay, hindi ko ginagamit.
Apa?
So, lagi ka.
Bayan, kill ko yun eh. Bayan, pumapatay sa likod ko. Mga backstabber kayong kubot.
Chill, nigga chill.
300 ping na pala ako, man.
Bayan, ano naman?
Wala pa akong patay.
Backstabber na naman. Huwag ako nainis.
Oh, no scope. No scope. Aray. Hindi na mag-stream.
Sakit ba?